Welcome back to another Hidden Hand reading of Melchizedek and the Mystery of Fire by Manly P. Hall. Part 1. Fire, the Universal Deity. Since the earliest times, man has venerated the element of fire above all others. Even the most untutored savage seems to recognize in the flame something closely resembling the volatile fire within his soul. The mysterious, vibrant, radiant energy of fire was beyond his ability to analyze, yet he felt its power. The fact that during thunderstorms fire descended in mighty bolts from heaven, felling trees and otherwise dealing destruction, caused the primordial human being to recognize in its fury the anger of the gods. Later, when man personified the elements and created the multitudinous pantheons which now exist, he placed in the hand of the supreme deity the torch, the thunderbolt, or the flaming sword, and upon his head a crown, its gilded points symbolizing the flaming rays of the sun. Mystics have traced sun worship back to early Lemuria, and fire worship to the origin of the human race. In fact, the element of fire controls to a certain degree both the plant and animal kingdoms, and is the only element which can subjugate the metals. Either consciously or instinctively, every living thing honors the orb of day. The sunflower always faces the solar disk. The Atlanteans were sun worshippers, while the American Indians, remnants of the earlier Atlantean people, still regard the sun as the proxy of the supreme light giver. Many early peoples believed that the sun was reflector rather than source of light, as is evidenced by the fact that they often pictured the sun god as carrying on his arm a highly polished shield on which was chased the solar face. This shield, catching the light of the Infinite One, reflected it to all parts of the universe. During the year, the sun passes through the 12 houses of the heavens, where, like Hercules, it performs 12 labors. The annual death and resurrection of the sun has been a favorite theme among unnumbered religions. The names of nearly all the great gods and saviors have been associated with either the element of fire, the solar light, or its correlate. The mystic and spiritual light invisible, Jupiter, Apollo, Hermes, Mithras, Bacchus, Dionysus, Odin, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Zarathustra, Fohai, Awa, Vishnu, Shiva, Agni, Balder, Hiram, Abif, Moses, Samson, Jason, Vulcan, Uranus, Allah, Osiris, Ra, Bel, Baal, Nebo, Serapis, and King Solomon are some of the numerous deities and supermen whose symbolic attributes are derived from manifestations of solar power, and whose names indicate their relationship to light and fire. According to the Greek mysteries, the gods gazing down from Mount Olympus repented that they had made man, and never having given to the primitive creature an immortal spirit, they decided that no harm would be done if the quarreling, dissenting humans ingrates were destroyed forever, and the place where they had been left vacant for a nobler race. Discovering the plans of the gods, Prometheus, in whose heart was a great love for struggling humanity, determined to bring to mankind the divine fire, which would make the human race immortal, so that not even the gods could destroy it. So Prometheus flew to the home of the sun god, and lighting a tiny reed with the solar fire, he carried it to the children of earth, warning them that the fire should always be used for the glorification of the gods and the unselfish service of each other. But men were thoughtless and unkind. They took the divine fire brought them by Prometheus and used it to destroy one another. They burned the homes of their enemies, and with the aid of the heat tempered steel, making swords and armor. They grew more selfish and more arrogant, defying the gods, but they could not be destroyed, for they possessed the sacred fire. For his disobedience, Prometheus, like Lucifer, was chained. But the Greek hero was placed upon the brow of Mount Caucasus, there to remain with a vulture gnawing at his liver until a human being should master the sacred fire and become perfect. This prophecy was fulfilled by Hercules, who climbed Mount Caucasus, broke the fetters of Prometheus, and liberated the friend of man, who had been in torture for so many years. Hercules represents the initiate who, at his name implies, partakes of the glory of light. Prometheus is the vehicle of solar energy. The divine fire which he brought to men is a mystic essence in their own natures, which they must redeem and regenerate if they would liberate their own crucified souls from the rock of their base physical natures.